Hola chicos, bienvenidos a otra clase de español. Welcome to another class, another lecture, I should say. ¿Cómo están? ¿Están felices? ¿Están cansados? ¿Están emocionados? Yo estoy un poco cansada, un poco enferma, pero estoy emocionada. I'm excited. ¿Por qué? Because we have spring break coming up next week. Sí, tenemos la semana de vacaciones, ¿no? Las vacaciones de primavera. Y bueno, con esto vienen anuncios. With this, can we have some announcements for the assignments, the due date for this week's assignments? Entonces, las asignaturas de esta semana no se deben entregar el 18 de marzo, sino el 25 de marzo. This week's assignments are not going to be turned in this following Monday, which is the 18th. That's part of your spring break. Okay, so nothing's going to be due during spring break. However, everything's going to be moved for the following Monday, el 25, the 25th of March. That is when your assignments are due. So when we come back from spring break that Monday, that is when everything's due at 11:59. And so, yeah, like I said, nothing's due during spring break. This week's assignments, although you should still finish them before you even go into spring break so you can have a little break. If you work, then you have an extra week to complete the assignments, but they're not going to be due until Monday at midnight. Monday, March 25th at 11:59 p.m. Así que hopefully you all get some rest. I know I will be getting some kind of rest, but preparing for the following weeks. Like I mentioned, we're like halfway through the semester. When we come back, we finish chapter 3, 4, 5, and then we have finals week in May. And so after spring break, everything's just gonna go, it's gonna go fast. And so I'll be preparing for that. Y bueno, esta semana, this week, we start our new chapter, capítulo número 3, chapter 3. Así que felicidades, congratulations if you've made it this far. Only the strong survive. If you are hanging by a thread, ¿sí? Si apenas estás llegando al capítulo número 3 and you need me or you need me to help you understand basic topics that we covered in chapter 1 and chapter 2, please schedule a one-on-one meeting with me. If you can't come to office hours, I suggest you reach out to me, make an appointment. If my office hours schedule doesn't match with yours, you might have work, kids, I understand. We can set up a meeting that is outside of office hours. So just please let me know. And the reason I say this is because chapter 3, chapter 4, and chapter 5 are dense, okay? And so by now you should be able to know our nouns, right? Los sustantivos, the difference between the feminine and masculine, the articles, some types of verbs, right? Verbs that we've covered in chapter 1 and chapter 2. Because chapter 3, chapter 4, and chapter 5 are a bit intense, okay? They're not impossible, they're not hard, but we need to know like the subject pronouns, right? Who are we talking about? Because we're going to get into conjugations, conjugating AR verbs, ER verbs, IR verbs. We even changed the tense in our last chapter, chapter 5, we go to the preterite. And so everything we've done so far, it's in the present and it's still in the present up until chapter 5. That's when you get like a little intro to the preterite, to the past tense. And so if you're having trouble grasping those types of topics, I suggest that you set up a meeting. If there are a couple of you that need extra help, I'm more than happy to meet with you as a group. And so if I get a couple of you, let's say like 3 to 5 of you that need that extra help, but just need that extra time of me explaining it in person live, I'm more than willing to meet with you all at once. And so please reach out to me before it's not too late, but before we start with chapter 3 or chapter 4, okay? Because I really want to prepare you for the final. And if you are continuing to take Spanish for Spanish too. And so that is kind of my weekly update. And well, hoy empezamos el capítulo 3. We start chapter 3, like I mentioned. Y como siempre, this is our introductory video. Este es nuestro video de introducción a la semana, to the week, right? And so we always start with the dates, writing the dates, and hopefully you know the 5 phrases we've been doing so far to tell today's date, yesterday's date, tomorrow's date, and today, the date of like 2 days ago, and the date for 2 days from now. And so if you can go ahead and start that, you can complete that while I make this presentation. Y bueno, estamos en marzo. We're no longer in febrero, right? Estamos en marzo. Uy, speaks better. Hold on. Let's try to move this. Estamos en marzo y hoy es martes, ¿sí? Los martes, sus módulos se publican. Your modules are published every Tuesday at noon, a las 12 o al mediodía. Entonces van a escribir la fecha de hoy, today's date, ¿sí? La fecha de hoy, la de ayer, la de mañana, la de anteayer y la de pasado mañana. Así que si puedes o si quieres, puedes pausar el video para escribir las fechas y después ya regresas al video para ver las respuestas. So this is the time you would want to pause the video to write dates, the 5 different dates, and come back when you are ready para ver las respuestas. Y bueno, ya que estamos aquí, vamos a ver las respuestas, cómo es que se escriben las fechas, ¿vale? Entonces, hemos trabajado con las fechas, cómo escribir, y sabemos que tenemos estas frases, ¿no? Sabemos que la frase de hoy es hoy, today is, ayer, ¿sí? Anteayer, es 2 days ago, mañana, tomorrow, y pasado mañana, 2 days from now. And so we have hoy, today, yesterday, 2 days ago, tomorrow, and 2 days from now. And then we have the verb to be, right? Ser. So hoy es, ayer fue, anteayer fue, mañana será, pasado mañana será. And so if you haven't noticed yet, the verb to be, right? It tells us hoy es, to say, to talk about it in the present. Hoy es martes, today is Tuesday. Fue, it's in the preterite, it's in the past tense, right? But it's still the same verb, the verb to be, the verb ser. Ayer fue lunes, yesterday was, right? Versus today is. And so when we talk about the past, fue, and then when we talk about the future, mañana será, mañana will be, right? Y pasado mañana será, 2 days from now will be, and then you say the days, okay? So these are the phrases that I'm looking. So every time you see phrases or I ask you for the phrases when we're writing the dates, these are the phrases that I'm looking for, okay? Hoy es, ayer fue, anteayer fue, mañana será, pasado mañana será, okay? And then obviously it's going to depend when you're watching this video. You might be watching it on a Friday, on un viernes, en un sábado, en un domingo. So it's going to look a little different, okay? The important thing here is that you know to write the day of the week first, then the fecha, right? The date, which is the number, and then what month? De marzo del 2024, ¿vale? Entonces, del 2024 va a estar, vamos a usar esto por todo el año. We're going to use this all year, right? Del 2024 because we're in 2024. The only things that are changing are these, everything else, ¿vale? So hopefully you've gotten this right. Y bueno, el capítulo 3 cubre los países Argentina y Uruguay. If you were able to download the map or blank map, it doesn't matter which one, encuentra Argentina y Uruguay. Find Argentina y Uruguay on your map. Label it real quick. Because chapter 3, el capítulo número 3, habla sobre Argentina y Uruguay. Okay, it focuses on Argentina and Uruguay. So make sure that you take the time to find them. And if you really don't know, you have here the image Uruguay, right? And you can kind of see the background. South America. Tenemos aquí Uruguay, que está un poco pequeño en comparación de Argentina, ¿no? In comparison to Argentina. Entonces tenemos Argentina y Uruguay. Okay, so make sure that you are labeling those two. Y bueno, el capítulo número 3 habla sobre las actividades con la familia. Talks about activities with family. And so we talked a little bit about the activities in chapter 2. Remember, cuando hablamos sobre me gusta correr, I like to run, right? Those were already activities. And so hopefully by now you know a little bit of those activities, but now we're going to learn how to conjugate. But obviously you have another lecture for that. But I really want to go over let me see if I can get out, the introduction that the book has for us. And let me see, las actividades, there you go. And so tenemos Argentina y Uruguay, we know that. Están aquí, y bueno, esas son las banderas. Esta es la bandera de Argentina y esta es la bandera de Uruguay. So in your book, you'll be able to find this on la página 77. Tienes la bandera de Argentina y la bandera de Uruguay. Usually students in my in-person or hybrids also draw the flags so they know the different flags that they have, right? Entonces tenemos la bandera de Argentina. La capital de Argentina es Buenos Aires, right? The capital is Buenos Aires, Argentina. And the currency, la moneda nacional, es el peso, ¿sí? La bandera de Uruguay, sí, es poco, casi similar, ¿no? Tienen el sol, pero es muy diferente. La capital es Montevideo, ¿sí? That is the capital, Montevideo. Y la moneda nacional también es el peso. It's also el peso, ¿ok? Y bueno, en la página 76, que es donde inicia el capítulo 3, this is where chapter 3 begins, you'll see this image, ¿sí? Y es de Pedro Figarí Pericón, ¿ok? Ese es el título de la imagen de esta obra. This is the title, this is the name of this work, ¿sí? Pericón, y es de Pedro Figarí, que es de Uruguay, ¿sí? Uruguayo, guys remember nationalities. Y bueno, aquí, ¿qué es lo que ven? ¿Qué es lo que pueden observar? What is something that you see? ¿Quiénes son estas personas? And who, like, what are they doing? Where are they? ¿Dónde están? ¿Y qué están haciendo? Right? ¿Dónde están? Where are they? Se ve que están en un parque, tal vez. It looks like they're at a park, en un parque. Y están bailando. Y si notan, tienen las manos, están como abrazados, ¿no? And it looks like they're doing some type of dance. Están bailando, right? They are dancing. Y bueno, esta obra representa a uruguayos, ¿sí? People from Uruguay that have African descents. Sí que provienen o tienen mezcla de africanos, entonces están bailando, ¿no? Y están haciendo esta actividad en familia. As they would say, they're doing this type of activity like as in a family, okay? Entonces eso representa el título, lo que se va a hablar en este capítulo, ¿sí? Las actividades en familia y en los lugares. So this chapter we talk about different activities and different places. In this case, they're dancing, ¿sí? Las personas bailan. The people dance. Where? ¿Dónde? En el parque. ¿vale? Entonces, esta es la introducción a la semana. This is just the introduction to this week. You have another introduction to the chapter, okay? In this introductory page here from the book, you see here the different things that we're going to cover, right? We talked a little bit about weather, el verano, el invierno, right? In the last chapter. So we touched upon it. um, but this, we also talked about the verb tener, right? But now, if you see here, la gramática, the grammar, we're going to be go over possession, telling time, the verbs with activities, right? You guys remember the AR, ER, and IR verbs? Those are just the endings, like what the verbs end in, right? They end in ER. Hablar, right? To talk. It ends in AR. ER, correr, to run, ends in ER. So that is how we classify the verbs. And lastly, we'll be talking about demonstratives. When you go to the lecture tab on your modules, you're going to see you have a couple of videos there. You have an video example of using possessives. You're gonna realize that we have a lot of ways to express possession. And so just kind of take the time to watch the lectures. They're a bit lengthy. Watch the videos on Connect and the assignments. Practice. You are going to see there's going to be a lengthy assignments, right? List of assignments. But that is just because this is such a dense chapter and we have so limited time. And so again, reach out to me if you have any questions in regards to any of the activities, any of the homework assignments, or the lecture itself. Feel free to contact me. I'll try to do to reply as soon as possible. I've been a little sick, so I do apologize for not replying promptly. But yeah, hopefully I'm feeling much better this week. And so hopefully I'll be able to reply to you within a day. Okay, entonces chicos, this was the introductory video for the week. Recuerden, this is just introductory video for the week, not for the chapter. You have that down below this video. Ok, chicos, y nos vemos. Que se la pasen muy bien en las vacaciones de primavera. Hopefully you have a good, well-rested spring break. Y nos vemos después de la semana, ¿no? De nuestras vacaciones de primavera. I'll see you guys after spring break. Enjoy it y no se olviden, aprendan español y practíquenlo. Ok, hasta luego, chicos.